Yes, indeed. We are back and better than ever. I like you too, Chef Shorts. Thanks for the compliment. Let me tell you this. We have had, I did a TV spot yesterday. I'll tell you that. Took a shower 5 minutes before. That was about it. Today, Planetary Call, I went and got a fresh haircut. I trimmed up my beard. I spent an hour doing my makeup. I went all in because the Planetary Call is back and better than ever, baby. Let me tell you that. What's going on, Mike? I see you, Hunagal. Always my guy, bros. I got to say, I missed the Planetary Call. God damn, all the homies are in the chat right now. I'm going to need you all to do me a little favor, though. I got to ask like this. This brings me no joy to do. But I got to ask everybody to please like, retweet, do all that kind of stuff on the stream. We got to earn back a little bit of algo love right now because we are going to need, it's been a while since we did this. It's been like, I think a month perhaps at this point. It's been too long. Somebody asked for the unofficial Cat theme song, Trijani. If you can quickly add that back into the deck, that'd be amazing. Because we do have a brand new deck. We got a brand new year, brand new deck, brand new intro song, all that kind of stuff. Is happening. Shout out to WJ for reposting and Broski and Legolas as well. We're gonna have a very fun one today. I don't know if you noticed, the last month has been a lot of shipping. The Breakpoint talk was crazy, and that was just really the start of it. And so that's what we're going to go through today on the call. If I can learn how to share my screen, I just started using this new browser, and it's making my life difficult, but I figured it out anyway because I'm a genius. That's not true. That's a joke, by the way. No, I obviously did not figure it out because it looks very odd. There we go. All right. Yes, we are here at the Planetary Call. Breakpoint was a banger. Shout out to Kirby. We do indeed have the unofficial Cat theme song. Let's go. One of these days, what I'm going to do, we have many great guests for this call and for many other calls who cannot resist the temptation of the unofficial Cat theme song. And they're grooving deep behind the scenes. And one of our guests was dancing up a storm. And because it's the first one of the year, didn't bring him up on stage. Let it be known to anyone who comes on this show in the future and is dancing me on stage, you're coming up on stage to show off those dance moves. Just let that be known. What are we doing here? Well, we are so back. The point of the Planetary Call is very simply to kind of catch everybody up, get everyone on the same page on things that are going on across the Jupiverse, because a lot of stuff is happening at any given time. So here's what I recommend to you. Sit back, get active in the chat. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or wherever else you might, yes, you can show your dance moves anytime, Will. Will McFletcher's dance moves are one thing. Will McFletcher's Chrome Hearts is another thing. That guy's got one of the nicest wardrobes I've seen anywhere out here. The guy's styling stunted on me in real life. It's even worse because he's like 6'5". Anyway, enough about Will McFletcher. What we're going to do here is kind of go through rapidly on a bunch of different things that are happening across the Jupiverse, talk about the people, the products in particular that make the Jupiverse so great. Here's what the agenda looks like today. We're going to do a very fast recap of the last month in the Jupiverse. Then we're going to talk all about JupUSD, Jupiter's new stablecoin. And let me tell you this right now, you are insufficiently bullish. JupUSD is going to be a big deal. And we're going to talk about all the different ways that that's going to happen with the big homie, Ben Liew. Then, inshallah, we'll do a little meet the team exercise with Xiao-Xiao, who recently joined as president of Jupiter and is a great guy that I think a lot of you guys are really going to dig and is already doing great things for the company and for the community as well. And then we're going to head into a spotlight of the Jupiter developer platform because we support builders before we get into some quick alpha drops for folks. And then finally, the road to CatLumpurr with Alicia, who's recently joined the team as well. And you guys are going to hear a lot more about. People are complaining about the CatLumpurr subsidies assignments. We'll talk about it with Alicia at the end of the call at 7, 8, whatever. Please just remind me when we go there. And yes, this is the kind of thing that I watch. Shout out to Italo, Jumol. Yes, and by the way, if it's your first time here, you're relatively new to crypto or just new to this call, chat is open the whole time. If you ask questions, we'll try to give answers. I can't always promise because, as you can see, there's a lot of very active people in the Jupiter community, which is what makes it so much fun. But let's start off with this month in the Jupiverse. What has happened over the last few weeks? Well, first and foremost, the big deal alert. JupUSD is live. Give me a little W in the chat if you've picked up a little bit of JupUSD and pop that into Jupiter Lend. Shout out to my guy Bishal, working on the Fluid team for Jupiter Lend, in fact. Yeah, okay, RJ Ray, a smart guy. Adam Fraser, a smart guy. Scarlet Synth, well known to be smarter than all. Okay, a bunch of people have. That's what we love to see. 10 million TVL in the first 24 hours. Listen, that number could have been a lot bigger. We had plenty of partners that wanted to mint on day one to have larger amounts. We could have put in more incentives into Jupiter. We purposely did not do all that, right? We wanted to go slow, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast, especially when it comes to something like a stable coin. So what we're going to do in about 10 minutes is talk with Ben Liew about all the future plans of how we start to scale this and what you can look forward to as well. But it is now out into the world and is going to, I think, be a very differentiated stablecoin for reasons we'll talk about. After that, JupUSD is the future of finance. I think Johnny is the future of finance. Broski, please. Well, actually, no, Broski, that's a good enough question. Why would someone who isn't using DeFi hold JupUSD versus USDC? Right now, you can just use it as a stablecoin. And I would argue that if you're not actually using DeFi at all, you're just trying to hold money, they're basically the same. In fairness, I think the USDC obviously has been around for a lot longer, has a much larger supply, publicly traded company. So there are some benefits of holding USDC. JupUSD, all of the juice comes in the DeFi integrations, and that includes Jupiter self-custody wallets, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and using the different products here. For right now, over time, that's going to change a little bit as well. As RJ said, slow but with good handwriting. Yes, that's exactly right. That was a banger on Twitter. All right, next thing to notice, we are in the midst of 21 days of Jupiter Mobile. I think I saw Sachs somewhere in the chat over here. I know people have been seeing Linny and Somad. Yeah, Malu's right. Off Somad, they had to fund an arbitrage bot. 21 days of Jupiter Mobile. Here's the basic insight. Jupiter Mobile is the best mobile wallet. That is obvious. That's been well documented. People have known that for a little while. But there's so many things that you can do with it. Every time I'm talking to somebody in real life and I'm telling them like, oh yeah, you have this wallet, they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, did you know about this feature? And we just launched it. They're like, no. And so we feel like we just needed to do it 21 days every day, talking about a critical feature on Jupiter Mobile to get people excited and just build up that awareness. So we would love if you can help promote those out there as well. But they are 21, possibly even more reasons to just use Jupiter Mobile. Shout out to the growth team who's putting work on this one over here. And speaking of Jupiter Mobile, in case you didn't know, NFTs are now live. It was indeed the #1 most requested feature. Anyone who says that NFTs are dead has clearly never interacted with the Jupiter user base because they have very strong opinions on getting NFTs in there. And now you can have this in there as well. I think this was the last potential obstacle for some people wanting to join, or starting to use it. People wanted the extension wallet. Boom, launched that 6 weeks ago or so. It's the best wallet extension for sure. People wanted NFTs and Jupiter Mobile. Boom, now you got that. So now you have no more excuses, folks. It's faster, it's cheaper, it's more fully featured. Go use it. Big shout out to T-Bolt, Aaron, and the mobile team on shipping this one out. Next thing to say, the Jupiter Rewards Hub is now live, literally right now. So anyone who is trading on Jupiter as a platform across any tokens can now be eligible here to just win random money. It's a very fun little setup. It's I think they call it a TCG, trading card game. I'm a little bit too old to understand exactly what these abbreviations are, but I just did it. Literally, I opened up 2 cards before this call. Super fun. You just connect your wallet. If you've been trading, you don't need to enter or do anything. Just trade on that wallet, connect it, and then you'll unwrap cards from $100 to $10,000. And those cards are irrespective of your trading volumes. You just earn the cards based on volumes, and then you could trade $10 of a token and end up getting a $10,000 card potentially. So it's a very fun thing. I think there's a guy who opened 6 cards and one of them was $10,000. And there's another guy that opened 200 cards and has a total of $10,000. So, may fortune be with you. Please do check it out. And in particular, if you refer other people, you'll unlock even more cards, right? So people have long asked us, hey, I love Jupiter. I want my friends and family and my doctors and my dentists and my barber to use this. I'd love to get a little cut when they do. Now you can do that with the referral program that's live, your personal referral link for trading right there and then. Kirby needs to open a few more. No, Frenchie, I did not. I opened up 2 cards and they were both $1. You know, that's the way that it goes here, though. So go refer your friends to use Jupiter. Earn from it. They'll appreciate it. Everyone's going to be happy. And then go open up some cards if you've been trading. Again, you didn't have to enter anything. If you've just been trading over the last month or so, you'll still be eligible just to go open cards. You might have some free money waiting for you. Shout out to Joe, Aaron, and the rest of the spot team on that one. Terminal itself, this is one of our flagship announcements from Breakpoint here. Jupiter Terminal, formerly known as Jupiter Pro, formerly known as Ape Pro, is now refined for your trenching needs. It's just gotten so good. I can't imagine really trading anywhere else. I think there's a ton of great features that have been built in there. We'll talk about a few of them in the alpha drop section, but I just want to really give a major shout out to Joe Doe and the Terminal team for putting this one together. Pretty excellent stuff. Another one of the major announcements from Breakpoint, in case you missed it, Jupiter Verified, VRFD stands for verified. We got some Gen Z people at this company. They like abbreviations. The trusted information layer on Solana. Big shout out to May, the Empress, 9-year-old intern, who I know many people on this call know and love, leading this project. Verified tokens, yes, which we've had for a little bit. I think it's something like 850,000 Jupe has been burned through the verification. But now you can also burn Jupe to update your metadata, your images, your descriptions, your links, and things of that nature. And the most exciting part, high quality content insights. If you are in Jupe Mobile right now and on the latest build and scroll down on the token pages, you will see top news tweets that are around that token, curated by humans as well. So it's not just like random slop and spam from Kaido farmers or whatever. Pretty incredible experience. The only mobile app that has that, obviously, and a way to get real high signal insights, all thanks to the Verified team. No more misleading infos is the idea here. That is great stuff. This one's obviously close to my heart here. Jupiter Lend, open source and out of beta. I'm going to require a little W in the chat on this one. 7 audits now, I think, 6 or 7 audits. And it's now fully open sourced. Open sourced after only being live for whatever 3 or 4 months, which I got to say is a sign of trust in the code. Huge thanks to everybody who shared feedback. I know that there were some people that didn't want to use the protocol until it was open source, which I understand. It is now open source, folks. So now what's your excuse? And let me tell you this, I don't know if it's in the slides or not, but as of today, Jupiter Lend, all-time highs on earned deposits, all-time highs on Vault Supply, all-time highs on active borrows. This is in the midst of a little bit of a bear market, I would say, right? Soul's at 140, and yet we're at all-time highs across the board, and those are only going to get higher. JupLend getting better and better. That is absolutely right. ATH season on the credit side of things, absolutely. Oh, and here's how it's going to go even higher, folks. You can now borrow on Jupiter Lend with up to 94% LTV and multiply up to 16.65 times, which is pretty insane. The highest offering on Solana. This is all due to the quality of the liquidation engine itself, which allows us to feel very confident that there won't be any bad debt that is created when there are liquidations. Up to date, no liquidation, or sorry, there's been plenty of liquidations, but no bad debt accrued by the protocol. So we feel comfortable now. It's been out in the wild, going up. What does that mean for you? It means if you're using multiply loops, you now get more APY. That's about it. It's pretty great. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. All right, then we have, oh man, there's so much stuff that shipped. Prediction markets continue to cook and ship. There is now a prediction market leaderboard as well that people can go check out. I think the top guy's got about, this is $22,000 on volume of just 116,000, so it's not so much. And there's tons of new stuff coming. There is a brand new Twitter page as well, or an X page as well. Please do go follow that at JupPredict. Shout out to the homie OG who is building that out as well. And of course, Julie, KK, Farkin, and Tali. We actually just added some more people to the prediction markets team, I should say. So expect the pace of shipping on the prediction market side to go a little bit faster going forward. I'm not even going to talk about this except to say shout out to YY, Italo, Anmol, Ujwal, Bing, and Santian. I think that's 3 super team members for what it's worth. But we have a brand new developer platform that Anmol is going to take us through in just a little bit. And of course, the other big announcement we made, RainFi has now joined the Jupiter family over here. Acquired RainFi, OfferBook, a peer-to-peer lending protocol built within Jupe AG, is going to be launching in Q1. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the exact dates, but I don't know. I'd probably recommend that you come to CatLumpurr. That's what I would say. And then you might learn some more. But the RainFi team, been building on Solana for years. Absolute chads. Quinn, Thibault, Mara, Ram, Matt, Thomas, Nicholas, V, and God, I hope I didn't forget anyone else, but the entire team, shout out to you. It's great to have you, and they've already been making a huge impact across the board. And then finally, we have a new little microsite for all things CatLumpurr. So big shout out to Cindy, Tony, Alicat, AG, Alicia, and the rest of the team. Let me tell you this. CatLumpurr is a labor of love, folks. It is no easy feat to put this together. I cannot tell you how difficult this actually is. We should have some prediction markets, as Joel is right, for competitions over at CatLumpurr. But there is now a new site that you can use to kind of stay up to date on the agenda as that comes together, the floor plans, resources, hotels, all that other kind of stuff, kl.jup.ag. Let's go. And that is it. That is it. That was just the last month. And this is like New Year's, Christmas, the holidays. It's crazy that this was just the last month over here. All right. Well, with that said, let's bring up the big homie. Can we get a little JM in the chat? People know him. They love his luscious locks. It's Mr. Ben Liew in the building, everybody. What's going on, Ben? How you doing?
What up? What up?
Oh, you know,
How's it
brother,
going?
another day in paradise. How much sleep have you gotten in the last week, Ben?
God, I averaged about 4 hours last week. Yeah, it's getting better every day now. So
okay, well, I'm very glad to hear that it's getting better every day. But I can promise you, it's about to get much worse as CatLumpurr comes up across all the different stuff that we have. For people that don't know, Ben, I think is among the first employees at Jupiter. Man, Ben is really good looking. That is a fact. Ben is very handsome. That's a well-known fact. But ladies, stay at home. Product lead for JupUSD, been doing partnerships for a long time, but he is the man responsible for JupUSD and knows literally everyone in crypto. And fun fact, I love to say this, Ben is the reason that I'm working at Jupiter. If it was not for Ben, I would not be here myself. So shout out to Ben. Ben, what can you tell the people about JupUSD?
yeah, JupUSD. So I think the very first announcement came out, I think around KBW or like Token 2049, which is like September, October. You know, like the very, very first announcements that, you know, we're going to be working with Vitina, and then, you know, like we start building the contract and working closely with Vitina on a lot of like operational legality stuff. And the good thing is, I mean, slightly bad thing is that like it's slightly delayed, right? We're supposed to do it in breakpoint. But the on the other side, the good thing is that like, you know, the contract itself is audited by 3 audit firms. And then right now it's open source. I know everyone likes open source. Yeah, and then obviously we starting out with just us doing maintaining the pack, which is, you know, some of like the comments on X as well. So I mean, so we have to build like the app board as well to maintain the pack. So yeah, those are like some of the work that we have done to actually get prepared to have a smooth launch that we have. That said, there's also a lot of things that it's coming. For example, I think one small note here is that like I work closely with on Jupland as well. So there's gonna be a very a lot of like what can I say, like a deep integration.
Can we release? Can we just? Should we drop the alpha right now?
I don't know.
Or did you already have plans on how you want to drop it? And we can wait a little bit, but it's up to you. I mean, how do you want to handle it?
Let's wait for a little bit, like build up like the suspense for a little bit. But yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be something really incredible that, you know, it's like the people's loop. Yeah, you coined it. Yeah, so yeah, that's something really exciting. Hopefully in the next week or so that we will be able to launch it. But before that, or like the rest of the week, we will have more borrow pairs. I think. We started off with just 3 borrow pairs, so like JupUSD, JLP JupUSD, and JupSo JupUSD. And the JLP vaults is already maxed out, right? So I think the team has already talked about like increasing it like today or like tomorrow. So that's
borrow rate right now 2.7% APY you're playing. So like you're using JLP earning whatever it is, like 7-8%, and then you're paying just 2%. I mean, it's free money. It's a great one. I can see why everyone wants it.
Yeah. For sure. And obviously, like there's a lot more pairs coming up. I've already been talking to a lot of partners that are very interested in, you know, pairing it with JupUSD as well. So that's on the Jupiter Land side. I mean, zoom out for a little bit on like the JupUSD side. So there's also going to be better, I guess, informational page, right? Like, so there's going to be a transparency page that we're building, right? Actually, right now, everything is also on chain that people can verify, right? The custodian wallet, the mint and redeem contract, even like the bot itself, right? So everything is verifiable on chain right now. But we can build it in like a dashboard itself so that people can easily refer it. And then better onboarding flow. After we gone live, we went live like a few days ago. There's a lot of partners or like, or like just users wanted to be onboarded as a partner to, mint and redeem. So we are, I mean, I'm already processing it by hand right now, or like just talking to people. But we're gonna have like better forms to actually get on board even better. So yeah, so that's what's coming. Yeah.
I mean, we can. So somebody said, Frenchy Fart said, when can we borrow against our lended JupUSD? I mean, we'd have to really be JupUSD for the people for us to want to do something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. Broski is asking, how much incremental revenue will the stablecoin provide in year one for Jupiter? You want to take that one or you want me to?
I think you should. You're the bullish guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm giga bullish on JupUSD and the stablecoin. I think Ben and the team have done a great job, and it's been a pleasure to work with them alongside on this whole deal and putting this out. I think that there's two ways to think about like how stablecoins can be really valuable. So the first thing to realize is that these are businesses that scale incredibly well, right? So the critical idea is to get to a point of scale. You want to maximize growth, and you trade off revenue in the short term in order to have this growth in the long term, right? JupUSD is backed by effectively at the end of the day, treasury bills, right? So the treasury rate or approximately the treasury rate is kind of like the revenue that's being thrown off for it. But Jupiter is for the people. And so we want to share those underlying economics with people that are holding JupUSD, right? Now, the stablecoin itself, very important. JupUSD is not a yield-bearing token. That's not how this works. But the underlying economics, because Jupiter is for people, is what we want to be able to share. And obviously, if we're sharing it with holders, then that means we're not taking it home right away. But this is all intentional, because by having a deeply integrated stablecoin that actually is for the people, that is beneficial financially to people that are holding it, unlike these other stablecoins that are out here, that's how you start to get the growth, the adoption, and get the network effects that allow us to then look at revenue in the longer term. What you have heard consistently from Jupiter, from me, from Meow, from Xiang, from Ben, from every other person that's been on this call or talked anywhere else, DeFi is still tiny, right? The opportunity in front of us is much, much bigger than the opportunity in front of us today, right? So we are building for that 2030 timeline, and that's how we're trying to optimize everything. So I hope that answers the question, Broski. Oh, and Girk has finally arrived. Thank God. What's going on, Girk? Ben, are there any other products where people might expect to see JupUSD?
Wait, like integrations? Like there's so many. Like I don't know which one. Yeah, I mean for sure. So first step, it's definitely like I said, right, Jupiter Land, right? So I mean the next step is obviously getting it integrated into the rest of like the Jupiter suite of product. Right. So we are talking about like say DCA and limit order, right? Imagine having your limit order, like say you want to buy, I don't know, buy SOL at $100, right? So then you can actually use it with the U bearings, the JL JupUSD, right? So your position actually slowly grows every day, every second, as you wait for like hopefully it doesn't come, but wait for your order to hit. DCA as well, right? So your order keeps growing. I think the bigger things would be, I guess, like prediction markets, right? Like for longer horizon kind of like events, right? Like, I don't know, like next election or something, right?
Yeah.
So
we have a market right now that's like, what will SOL's price be at the end of the year, for example?
Yeah. So that position alone, like, let's say you put in $1,000, right? Let's say, I don't know, right now I think it's sitting at 7%, right? So then you actually get 7% more when the events actually settle. So yeah, so I think that's some of like the ideas that we have that's gonna integrate JupUSD into like the rest of like the Jupiter suite of product, and there's a lot more that's coming.
Yes, I will say, I think it was Inno, shout out to the homie Inno in the chat, who mentioned is JupUSD going to be used for redacted? And the answer is come to CatLumpur and you will see that for yourself. Be the first one to know, get your hands on it, get to play with it, which is pretty great. People asking about the name. Indeed, we went back and forth on the name, I will say. The basic idea of going with JupUSD is kind of twofold. First, we have more brand power if it's called JupUSD, right? For the average user, like, I mean, for people in here, people are using USDS, USDG, USDC, et cetera, USDT. There's all these kind of areas, but they all inevitably become this kind of alphabet soup, right? So for my brother, who's a very smart guy, but not in crypto, he works in tech, it's very confusing how these actually work. JupUSD is very clearly the Jupiter one, right? And Jupiter has built up enough trust across the user base for that hopefully to be beneficial in the longer run. So that is the kind of idea, is you get this brand value out of the stablecoin in addition. The question on Broski, what benefit, if any, accrues? So any of the kind of retained profits, JupUSD is part of the on-chain product suite, so it would contribute to the buybacks that we currently have, or to the Jup accumulation plan, I should say. So that's the direct. Oh no,
actually,
it's JLP. Yeah. Go ahead.
The naming, it's actually also part of like what we have JupSoul, right? Which, you know.
Yes. Correct. So there's Jupiter's version of
nicely.
Solana. There's Jupiter's version of $1. There's Jup itself as a token. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, it should be Jup LP, but it's JLP instead. But that's the idea there. So you want to stand out, right? When everyone's zigging, you want to zag. Everyone's just putting one letter on. They get lost in the mix of A, B, C, D, G, whatever the fuck this alphabet soup is. Here, you know that JupUSD is for Jupiter. That's the idea here. Spend 2-3 years CatLumpur and forget it. That's such a good meme. Okay, cool. That is JupUSD. Anything else you want to say, Ben? What kind of partners, outreach are we looking for right now? Who should get in touch?
DeFi protocols who are looking to, you know, adopt JupUSD, right? Again, this is like, did you already say it? Like the people's stablecoin, or like people's
people's stablecoin.
Okay, right.
Do we like this idea? What do you think about the people's stablecoin? I kind of like that as a brand for it. I think it's funny. Yeah, true.
It's growing on me, but yeah. So yeah, like we have it in Slack here. It's like a shared economics, right? So partners, DeFi protocols that, you know, would like to tap into JupUSD to, you know, we can definitely discuss, and then, you know, we can definitely pass it back through all those you over for the integrations for any use case that you have. Yeah, I think that should be a good start, because there are actually some people that I talked to in Breakpoint that, you know, like doing some payment stuff, like potentially even some launchpads that are looking to maybe use JupUSD as a base token, right? So there are a lot of use cases out there. I mean, stablecoins is obviously pretty widely used everywhere. So yeah, just hit me up, and then we can definitely discuss more.
Spam Ben. Drop a little W in the chat for this guy. Sleeping 4 hours a week over the holiday break, over New Year's. This guy has been grinding through the holidays to get the people stablecoin out into the space. The stablecoin for on-chain finance probably makes more sense. But Ben, thank you very much. Yeah, Ben is trying very hard to not leak alpha. I will say, Bork, he came on well media trained. I was ready to spill it all. But appreciate you, buddy. I'll catch up with you very soon. Go get some sleep.
Bye.
Oh, what a mensch, as they say. All right. In this next segment, we have a very exciting announcement that we made a few weeks ago, where the Jupiter team, for a long time, people have been saying, you know, the Jupiter team is like the Avengers, and they are correct. It is like the Avengers. And the ranks got even stronger about 3 or 4 weeks ago, just before Breakpoint announced that a very special individual named Xiao-Xiao had joined Jupiter, formerly as our new president. He is now here to say hello to the community for the first time. And my favorite thing about Xiao-Xiao, actually, let's do this. Drop a little salute emoji in the chat for the president. We should have had the little theme music. That would have been the more fun, like the national anthem or something like that. But let's go. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Xiao-Xiao himself, the finest dressed man in all of Jupiter. Look at the coat. Love it.
Hey, everyone.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to meet you.
It's great to have you, man. So for anyone who does not already know, maybe they didn't see the highly lauded Twitter post, the highly lauded LinkedIn, or anything else. Xiao-Xiao, who are you? What have you been doing over the last few years?
Yeah, it's great to be on my first Planetary Call. Great to already have met some of you at Breakpoint. But yeah, a quick intro about myself. My name is Xiao-Xiao. Over the last 5 years, I've been working at a company called KKR. KKR is widely credited as the founder of the private equity industry. Today, it's has about $700 billion assets under management, one of the largest private investment firms in the world, essentially owning and running some of the biggest private companies in the world. I was, for example, on the board of the largest media company in Europe called Axel Springer, and then worked on a number of other landmark sort of TMT deals. I also had the privilege during this time to lead KKR's global digital asset strategy with a part of my time, where we invested in leading investment firms such as Dragonfly or Parafy, and also like leading digital assets companies such as Anchorage, a loyal partner of ours now at JupUSD. So very aligned in sort of pushing the space forward, in investing behind long-term, aligned people, funds, investors, and projects. So yeah, that was the last 5 years. Before that, I was working for about like 7-8 years at the Boston Consulting Group, also one of the premier management and strategy consulting companies in the world, advising Fortune 500 companies on all kinds of strategic and hard problems around the world. And I had also the privilege of having been a founding team member of PCG Digital Ventures, where we incubated essentially new digital businesses from 0 to 1. And during that time is also when I first met, essentially, or got into the whole crypto world in 2016. I led some of the first crypto-related projects at BCG, and we were like basically trying to figure out, how to essentially build, new businesses that could leverage that blockchain technology. And at the time, we, for example, built out with De Beers, the biggest diamond asset, diamond producer in the world at the time, actually a blockchain-based asset tracking platform that they still use today to kind of track their natural diamonds end to end. So pretty early on, I started thinking about like the potential of this technology. Obviously, went through a lot of the ups and downs. Always had my mandate to kind of work on the, with some of the biggest companies in Web 2, as well as sort of in building new businesses. But yeah, I think and then in my early life, I think maybe one word to before all of that career, I was actually I grew up in Germany as Chinese, heritage, growing up in Germany. And my first career was actually as a professional concert pianist. So as a kid, I was like kind of a prodigy, and so played around the world on concert stages. And probably the most memorable moment was like when I actually played for George Bush Sr. and Gorbachev and Helmut Kohl at one of the, I think it was the 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. So I was invited to kind of like play in a presidential palace in Berlin, for these kind of luminaries. I played sort of a concert, and I had many other sort of performances like this. But I think what you probably can tell from my life story is like I never like to sort of like rest on one thing for too long time. I'm always like looking for the intellectual challenge. I want to kind of go into frontier markets and think about, challenge myself. I like steep learning curves, and then sometime during this time, I just formed a very deep, I think, conviction about the potential of on-chain DeFi, on-chain and crypto, for that it can fundamentally change the way people do basically everyday finance. And I think, we can talk a little bit more about that, but that was ultimately one of the reasons that convinced me to kind of, go away from the sort of very comfortable and prestigious sort of world of high private equity finance, and really go like rolling up the sleeves and going into Jupiter ultimately. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Xiao-Xiao, and there are many favorite things about Xiao-Xiao, but one of my favorite things is that every time we do one of these little like intros and he tells a story, I learn something new about him. The resume is just like, it gets longer and longer every time we hear it. We don't really use resumes to hire a Jupiter. So I did not realize on the De Beers side, I don't think you'd ever told me that before. That's super cool, actually.
Yeah.
Deep in the game.
There's more.
Bring them, exactly. Over drinks, I'll find out some more. Can I ask real quick, what age did you start playing the piano? You say you were a prodigy as a child?
With 5, yeah. You have 5? To start. Yeah, you have to 5 when you have to start when you're 4 or 5, and I went pro when I was 10. You got to start very early. You have to go to competitions and, you know, train hard and then compete. I was like 5 times national champion in Germany, and, you know, and then that's what basically got me into that concert career. Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear you play. I think that's going to be great. That part is very fun and interesting and unique, obviously. But I do think, like, as you guys heard through the recent times, what's very cool is that I think you have a unique perspective on kind of where this industry is going, because you've worked with many billion-dollar companies and, you know, tens of billions of dollars of companies to be able to see where they're going. Can you talk a little bit more about what kind of gave you the conviction? Like, why now? Why not 5 years ago? Obviously, you've known about blockchain, been working on it for many years. Why was now the time that you wanted to jump into the on-chain space?
Yeah, I think you know, it's 2 parts. First, like, why did I feel comfortable to kind of leave KKR and go full time into on-chain or DeFi? And then the second part is like, why Jupiter, right? So the first part, I think it's very clear, like, to me, that something has clicked and inflected in the last 2-3 years. And I started really form that conviction that on-chain finance is simply the better way to do finance, period. Because it means building on these kind of permissionless crypto rails, you are really able to empower global accessibility, openness, permissionlessness, real self-custody and transparency. Now, that promise has always existed, right, in crypto. But I think what has really happened probably in the last 12 to 24 months that wasn't there before is, like, first, the line between on-chain and traditional finance is really starting to blur, right? And this is, like, you can see that on all metrics and a lot of phenomenons. Bitcoin is now really treated as a national and corporate treasury asset, right? It's not just crypto, you know, whales holding it. It's like governments and very large corporates. Stablecoins now increasingly is becoming the default and the better global payment and remittance rail, period. Providing an alternative to traditional banking infrastructure. And then, you know, you also, like, really see on-chain venues like Hyperliquid or Jupiter are rapidly taking share from centralized exchanges. You know, we have charts now in the last couple of days where we can really see that on-chain venues on Solana, for example, for the first time really surpassed all centralized exchanges except Binance. But I think we'll get there sometime, hopefully. But, like, it's combined already more than Bybit, OKX, and all of these products, right? And this has really happened in this last year. And then I think what, from an innovation perspective, very exciting is, like, we continue to see new DeFi primitives, right? Like tokenized assets, prediction markets, or so, are completely reshaping how capital and information markets are being formed and are being executed on. And I think there's, like, tremendous upside potential in sort of new, innovative things, or ways of tokenizing things, information, assets, right? And really bringing that into the world of on-chain. The second thing, I think, what's really has changed is, like, crypto tech is really growing up now, right? And you have a fundamental shift in the value creation from the infrastructure side, so on the blockchain infrastructure side, to the application layer, right? Like Kash and I, we've been in the sort of on and off into the crypto space since many years, like close to 10 years. But why I haven't made that jump before was, like, it's just like you couldn't actually find a lot of scaled application opportunities. Correct. Where you can actually build a real company or, like, a real community, right? It was all very conceptual. It was a VC game, right? Of, like, what do you believe could come in 5 to 10 years, and what do you want to potentially invest, right? And you have to spread your bets in order to have, like, any chance of success. And I think that the evidence that everyone can see is block space on layer 1 and 2 blockchains now is really not an issue anymore. It's commoditized, right? 3 to 5 years ago, we actually had to debate, like, should we actually build on Solana or Ethereum or something else, right? A Polygon or whatever, right? That is, I think, more and more getting settled. Solana is becoming really, Solana and Ethereum are kind of the winning chains, and it's increasingly performant, increasingly not an issue, right? To kind of, like, have more of your flows and traffic actually being routed natively on chain. The second, of course, the new wave of on-chain applications are generating significant revenues and user adoption. So we can actually look at something like Jupiter more like a business. It's not just a smart contract anymore, right? It's actually resembles much more of a organization or community or a company. And then I think because of that, user and liquidity aggregation really becomes the new battleground for value accrual. it's not just about like who has the better tech, right? It's really about like, and it's not about having 1,000 different dexes and 1,000 different places where you can do different things. You have to start thinking about what actually makes sense for the everyday user, right? Like what is actually convenient for user. You cannot possibly open like, you know, check the prices on 100 different venues. You cannot possibly like do all of everything he wants in 10 different applications. You have to start thinking about aggregation and what makes the most sense. And therefore, the modes, what defines what creates value in business, is shifting towards distribution, brand, and user experience, right? And I think this is the segue probably to the question of why Jupiter.
Yeah, right? I was going to ask that next. And yes, listen, we both know what the actual reason is.
Yeah, but I think
besides that, what's the public reason? Yeah,
the most handsome person in Solana. The why Jupiter, I think it's well, all of crypto.
Yeah, that's bad.
I think it's fourfold, right? It's track record, market opportunity, team integrity, and complementarity, right? If I elaborate, and obviously, like from a sort of bio perspective, I also love the fact that that I personally have dedicated my life to bridging the worlds that previously were not really compatible, right? I dedicate my life to bridging the worlds of traditional finance with on-chain finance, right? That's why KKR, and now I want to kind of do this much more on the on-chain finance side, but talking the other way with Jupiter. But it's also about connecting East and West, right? Because I was born by Chinese family, grew up in Germany. At some point, I thought I was like a German person, but now I married a Chinese wife, and this whole like tension between like East and West, Asia, and what's happening in the West. I think we need more connective tissue. And then I think there's tension between like early stage, building new companies from scratch, or like scaling some very late stage or large scale companies. It's also like typically it's very different worlds, right? I've done both. And this is, I think Jupiter is in this very similar situation where it has elements of the very early stage thing, but it also like has now elements of like having a lot of scale in some other parts. And I just literally feel like the Jupiter is integrating the best of all of these above, right? But really like concretely, if we think about, why Jupiter, right? Track record is pretty clear. We have built like, the team here has built like one of the most widely used products in DeFi, very strong product market fit already. And it's really about distribution and user experience, which I think there is like very few companies that can even rival what Jupiter has done there. But I don't think that's enough, right? I think the market opportunity is very important to me because we have to really think about the future, right? So even with today's success that Jupiter has, we maybe have single-digit millions of real users, right? It's still far below centralized equivalents like Binance, Robinhood, or banks, right? And so the upside potential of like growing the category of on-chain finance, and along with that, Jupiter as the flag bearer of on-chain finance, I think that can, there is no ceiling right now. There's a headroom of 10 to 100x if we execute well, right? And I think that's a very exciting sort of challenge and task to kind of like dedicate time and energy to. And thirdly, probably most importantly, I think team integrity is important, right? We are in a very early stage in industry around crypto. It's pretty scammy. It's pretty immature, very volatile. And I think, working with the team, one of the pretty rare teams actually trying to build the best version of on-chain for the long term and not just pump a token or like exit something quickly. I think that's really like what also like drew me to the actually the philosophy of and the actual actions of the company and the founders and the leadership. And then finally, I think complementarity as well. If I would just join a project where there's like very similar people like me, I don't think I would add as much value. I think, where Jupiter is already very, very strong is in the crypto native community, Solana presence, builders, developers, trenches. But clearly, there are very clear gaps, right? Into like we haven't really reached a lot of institutions. Most of them don't know even about Jupiter, right? We don't have a PR function. So media outlets, journalists, they they know kind of, but they don't know who to talk to. They don't know. There's like a lot of misconceptions of what Jupiter does. We traditionally haven't had a lot of investors, right? We had the luxury of being bootstrapped as a project, which is tremendous, right? It gives you a lot of autonomy, but we also don't have allies, right? Investors like a Kyle Salmani at Multicoin that literally pushed Solana into existence. And I think generally that translation of what we all see in our everyday lives in DeFi and crypto, that translation of that to the outside world, I think can be very powerful if we do that in the right ways. And I think I want to sort of bring my skills and network and experience to kind of like really like drive some of these things exactly in these gaps, right? And true in a truly complementary fashion, not duplicative. I think that's probably a good summary.
The reasons abound is the point. I think definitely, I think it's a massive new muscle that Jupiter has added. It's why it's so bullish. I've been talking about this for a while. Let me just say this, Xiao-Xiao was highly in demand. So it took a little while to get the deal, but I think now everyone is excited and eager to go, and Jupiter is going to be able to really grow at a faster pace here, right? It's both like the philosophy, the network, but also like the practical experience, knowing what problems need to be solved by an entirely new user group, right? As we try to actually expand the world of on-chain finance outside of crypto Twitter. And so Xiao-Xiao, I for one, am excited to have you. Drop another little salute emoji in the chat, folks. And this will not be your last time on the call. I can promise you that. People will see a lot more Xiao-Xiao all over the place. Give him a follow. He's new to Twitter. Just one little fun story is that I think it was 5 minutes before the announcement went out that Xiao-Xiao changed his name on Twitter for the first time, and it's starting to hopefully get active up there, and is going to start shit posting.
Well, you have to teach me.
Maybe. Well, we'll get on Mole or somebody else to teach you. They're better at it than I am. But Xiao-Xiao, thanks for coming on. Great to see you. People, you can see the salutes flood in the chat. It's great to have you on, your brother. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Peace, man. All right, folks, let's keep the good times moving. Go follow Xiao-Xiao. Thank you. It's XXJZHU, Mr. President. All right, next up, we got another new addition to the team. The Jupiter team has continued to grow, has continued to bring the Avengers on. And next up, we got a guy that I think, if you don't already know him, you're soon going to. I debated not even having him on, because this guy, if you go follow him on LinkedIn, you will see his banner is wrong, incorrect, factually. But please drop a little JM. First time appearance on the Planetary Call. Jup Mole, what's up, brother? How you doing?
JM. Excited to be on here.
Oh, the only man with a better mic than me in this goddamn game. It's great to have you. Since it's your first time on, give the people a little bit of context. Who are you? What have you been doing? And how did you find yourself here?
Hey folks, I'm just a big fan of Cash. In Jupiter, I am leading the developer platform team. It's basically, I'm the person that you come shit on if anything goes wrong with the APIs.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty good. But be warned, take a look at these biceps over here. You know, be careful. You better come correct. You know, don't come with any bullshit. So leading the API efforts, I've been obviously developing. I've been building in crypto for many years. You've done. I think this photo from a super team workshop, or is this from
Yeah, it is.
It's a super team workshop, right? Yeah, I remember this. I remember this being taken. So been in the ecosystem for a long while, and now along with the rest of the team, YY, Italo, and many others, pushing out the developer platform. For people that don't know, tell them, what is the developer platform, and why is this a big deal for the entire Jupiverse?
Okay, so to give you a bit of context, if you are building in DeFi on Solana, you probably in some shape or form have interacted with like Jupiter APIs. Like it is impossible to not interact with them. We have like 12 of them in different verticals. So developer platform is like a public good effort from Jupiter's side. Like we don't make any revenue from it, and we don't plan to make any profit from it. It's basically we provide it at cost. So for developer platform, we saw that in crypto, there was no platform in terms of APIs besides Ironforge, which was acquired by Sanctum, that provided you information on how your actual RPCs worked. But in terms of Jupiter, it is how your APIs work. It's basically the foundation of how all DeFi apps on Solana work, right? So we realized the position we are in. and we are here to set the standard of how developer experience should be done in crypto. And it is just a world-class platform that we are here to present to you.
Can you share your screen? Show the people. Actually, it might help kind of get the point across, because it does look beautiful.
Hey, let me. Yep.
Famously not a technical guy, so I don't actually have access to Portal. But as you're pulling it up, I will just like kind of re-underscore that point. Jupiter, yes, is the most used crypto product on Solana, but it is also the biggest platform on Solana, right? Our partners have earned more than $750 million using our APIs and so forth, right? So it is a kind of critical bit of infrastructure for the entire ecosystem. And now it just got even better, as we will see as soon as Anmol shares his screen and I stop filling time and space.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
Jupiter is for the developers. Ujwal in the chat as well, who's helping out on all of these efforts.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Here we go. There we go. All right. So what are we looking at here? I'll make this kind of full screen so people can see.
So this is an example account that we have put on here. I have been playing around with the APIs myself, building out demos for every developer out here in Solana. So these are some of the APIs that you can use. There's the token API, price API, which is basically used across the ecosystem just to pull price feeds on Solana. And you can see all the requests that my API key has done across UltraSwap, how many requests, what's the success rate, what's the average latency, how much is the volume. And this is just for the past 1 hour. We can go into 30 days. And this is how it looks. So currently, we only have the UltraSwap and Price API live here, but this is just 5% of what we have actually built out in the local host and how this platform looks. We have done a massive revamp, and I'm going to kind of drop hints in the CatLumpur talk that I have, and just tune into CatLumpur for more.
That's what we like to hear. As Idolo is saying over in the chat as well, I'll put my screen back on here and avoid that nonsense. As Idolo is saying in the screen as well, it's DeFi as a service, right? In a dream world, yeah, anyone that uses DeFi would just use Jupiter. Like literally all 8 billion people on the planet. In reality, that's probably not going to happen, right? You can't get the Jupiter site in Korean, for example. But as the rest of the world comes on, here I'm talking about every bank, every fintech, every broker, every asset allocator, every custodian, as they all start to come more and more on chain, they need these APIs to be able to offer benefits of DeFi to their users directly. This is how we win in scale. This is how we win even if someone doesn't use Jup.ag. This is how we win as just DeFi as a category continues to get more adoption. And what those people need are really high quality tools that are similar to the tools they're used to in Web 2, right? Go use Vercel or Cloudflare or any of these kind of things. They all have developer platforms, I mean, that are a little bit worse than this, if I'm being honest, but or will be one day be worse than this if they're not already. And that's really what's going on over here. What is some of the feedback that you've heard from developers so far interacting with the developer platform?
I think the biggest feedback I've gotten from like real indie developers that have built startups on top of Jupiter APIs is that it was great to see how users move around the platform. Like how their users, what is the most searched token, what is the most used token to swap into what. So I think it gives a lot of insight to like founders and builders on what is being used on their platform actually, and they can optimize further. So I think it gave a lot of business insight to founders and developers into how their product is being used.
Which is huge, right? Because without that visibility, how do you actually improve and get better? This is one of those things that I think makes, it's a force multiplier is another way to put this, right? Where you kind of create this situation where this rising tide can lift all boats together. And so that's good for Jupiter. It's good for the on-chain finance world. And of course, it's good for all the builders that we're working with here. Love to hear it. Do you have any particular favorite projects that are built using the Jupiter APIs that you want to give a shout out to right now?
In particular, I might be biased because I have made quite a bit of moolah from it, but it's Met Engine. I'm in the LP army. I use Met Engine quite regularly and their terminal. And yeah, I love that they do 1% of all volume of Ultra, which was an insane stat to me because we do quite a lot of volume on Ultra.
We do whatever it is, like 850 billion.
Yeah, and they are a 5 or 4% team based out of like India, and I'm really proud of them, and they're doing an amazing job. Super team members.
That's right. Super Team family. Super Team Cabal on top always. And shout out to the LP Army. I actually had this hoping that there'd be a Meteora reference. I just want to give a little special shout out to the one and only Heavy Metal Cook for gifting me this sick cowboy hat over at Breakpoint. So I just wanted to pull that out there. I see my guy Geek Lad in the chat as well. One of the originators of the LP Army Bootcamp. Okay, that is a great answer, I gotta say. JupMole, any other words for the developers who might be watching here?
I would say do not miss the CatLumpurr talk, because the things we are about to reveal there are really, really big. And I think we know what position we are in with Jupiter in the DeFi space especially. And we don't take that position lightly. We compare ourselves to the greatest in not just in crypto, but outside of crypto. The aim with developer platform is to provide the experience that Stripes and the Vercels of the world provide to developers, and we are totally locked in to provide that.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, buddy. It's great to have you on the team. And thanks for all the doing the Lord's work here, helping all the devs. We'll catch you very soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
Peace, boy. Bye. Jupiter developer platform, banger. Let me also just say, if you are building on Jupiter APIs right now and you have not already applied for a subsidy to CatLumpurr, please do so very quickly. And then just spam Unmol on Twitter to learn more about your application. Definitely want to see all the builders and partners over there. All right. Before we talk a little bit more about CatLumpurr in our last segment with another new member of the team, Alicia, this call has been 3 new members of the team and one of the oldest on the team. It's pretty fun to see. A few quick alpha drops for folks. This is a section where I give you non-financial advice, obviously. But the goal here is to kind of like, open up your eyes to some opportunities or some cool things that might help you generate some more alpha when you are playing around with Jupiter. The first one, I do just want to reiterate, the $1 million prize pool for the trading card game on the Jupiter Rewards Hub is currently live. If you have been trading on Jupiter, those cards are available for you. If you have not already, start trading more to unlock those cards. And of course, use your referral link to bring people on chain, and you will get rewarded for it as well. This is free money, ready for the taking for those who are out there. So please do get onto that. Second one, this is actually a thing that I think a lot of people miss that I just wanted to share because, we're all in multiple positions at a time. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. It's hard to kind of keep an eye and remember where you are on all of these. On Jup.ag, you probably have seen the watch list, right? Where you can flag tokens and they'll stay at the top banner. What you might not have noticed is if you click on that, you can actually switch that over to your active positions and see that with you anywhere you go on Jupiter. It's one of the cool things that have come out of the new terminal rebrand and such. This is actually incredibly useful. I use this myself. I would definitely encourage you to do it. You can sort it by your biggest positions and so on and see how all of them are performing at a glance in case you need to jump in, jump out, especially if you're a heavy trader. It's incredibly useful to have. And then I think this is the last one. Is this the last one? Yeah. The last one here, gotta just reiterate, we increased LTVs up to 94%, the highest anywhere on Solana. And that is going to enable some really incredible SOL loops, in particular because the cost of borrowing is quite good right now. But now with 16.65 multiplier on INF, you can earn almost 40% APY on your SOL, 35% on JupSol, 36% on Forward Sol, like incredible numbers. And as a reminder, the way that these markets work, they do not have, or at least for JupSol, I will say with confidence, they don't have price-based liquidation. Meaning that we don't actually look at the price of JupSol inside of DEX pools or anything like that. So you can't get, if there's, for whatever reason, some kind of like market or instant crash, you won't get liquidated on that basis, right? Instead, we look at the actual index price. We actually look at how much SOL there is behind JupSol and use that as the measure to calculate it. What this means for you, pegged vaults. These two assets are pegged together. When SOL goes up, so does JupSol. When JupSol goes down, so does regular SOL, right? So as a result, your risk is not based on market price fluctuations. That's why we can enable very high leverage on these. The only way you can really get liquidated is via some kind of prolonged interest rate risk where the price of borrowing SOL far outstrips the price of, or the price appreciation of JupSol itself. So heads up on that, but it is, and at the same LTV, you're even less likely to get liquidated than you were previously. Yes, that is actually true as well. Shout out to Vishal over here. So just increase my multiply on the position. Yeah, this is again not financial advice, but it is important. And yeah, spam withdrawal as well in the chat. But so I just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of this. This is a very exciting development. If you have SOL, you might as well multiply it, even if you don't go the full 16x. maybe you do 14x and then you feel a little bit more comfortable that your interest rate risk is reduced. You're still just earning way more yield. This is a no-brainer in my opinion, but that's not financial advice. So heads up on that. Okay, cool. As far as an alpha drop, any alpha on the next launch on Jupiter DTF? What I would say is that we don't have the next one confirmed. There's a few very compelling and interesting companies that we are talking to right now. Things are a little bit slow over the holiday break, as you might imagine. But now the conversation is starting. I actually have a call tomorrow evening with a project that everyone on this call knows to see if they want to come on. But so with DTF in particular, we're not in a race. We're not trying to pump projects out every time. We want to make sure that they're quality, that they have that transparency, that alignment with token holders. So give us a little bit of patience on that. But there'll be some other announcements around the launch efforts at CatLumpur, which is a perfect segue. Look at this. You might think I do this. I've done this before. I do want to talk about the road to CatLumpur, and I want to talk about this with the newest member of the team. I think she is literally the most recent hire. First time on the call. Please drop a little JM in the chat. Make her feel welcome. It is, of course, Alicia, doing growth in media. She will find you and she will creative direct you. And here she is. Alicia, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm good.
Oh, don't be nervous. It's just you and me and a few thousand of our closest friends.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna do great. Alicia, you and I have known each other for a little while at this point, but the rest of the Jupiter faithful might not have. Who are you? How did you get here?
I'm Alicia. I actually used to be a Super Team Singapore Core contributor. So I used to work for Super Team Singapore for 1 year. And that's how I got here. I got to do a lot of cool things with Super Team, and I guess that got me some kind of traction, and Cash reached out to me and I'm here.
There we go. As simple as that. Yeah, I think one of the things we talk a lot about internally is the importance of taste. And as Alicia, I told you this in private, and now I will say it in front of 4,000 other people as well, which is Alicia's got great taste. You've already started to see some of the quality of things that have come out, and you're going to see even more of that coming out soon. She is working hard on it. And one of the key things that she is working on right now is CatLumpur. There have been some changes lately with CatLumpur.
Yeah.
So let's tell the people. I appreciate it's not too far away. So we got to start making sure people know what has changed about CatLumpur. What does the new agenda look like?
We went from 2 days to 3 days just because we realized that there is so many things we want to share with everybody out there. So I'll just start with day 0. And I feel like a lot of people do not know about this because it's not in our Luma. So day 0, it's about community. We want everybody we want to kick things up by connecting the community. We want everybody to come in early. We have planned a paddle for them. We have a paddle, a pickleball, go-karting, a ladies only yoga, because we love our Jup girlies out there, and a gym just for men, because of course our lovely Alley Cat wants men on like there as well. So that's what we're doing on day 0. We just want everybody to come in, relax before the conference starts, and just have fun, meet people, and be friends. And day 1 is when we kick things off. And the focus, it says the Jupiter project. That's what it's about. It's about how the Jupiter projects comes together to power on-chain finance. And we want this to be about like how every piece comes together in Jupiter and building on-chain future. And at the end, we have a very special guest. I am not allowed to say who it is, so you'll have to come to CatLumpur to find out who it is. And day 2, which is February 1st, it's about JupNet and Jupiter Insight. What we mean by that is it's about you learn about all the different Jupiter team, what they're building, what the vision is, what the philosophy and the culture of the Jupiter is. So you get to meet absolutely every team, not just the team who are shipping. And day 3, which is February 2nd, it's about Web4 partners and on-conference. So we absolutely love our community. We love our partners. We love everyone who supports us from day 1. So that's what it's about. And the on-conference, which was very well loved during Cat Istanbul, it's the same idea where we have 4 different topics, and there will be a lot of amazing talks. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
I am very much looking forward to this. I remain of the opinion that the lifting session should be bisexual, and men and women should both be there, but we'll figure that out over time. Alicia, what day are you most excited for out of these 4?
I'm very excited for actually day 1 because, of course, I get to see you on the stage. It's been my dream. I've never seen you on the stage, and I'm your biggest fan. Actually, 80% of the reason I joined Jupiter is Cash, for sure. So I'm very excited to see you up on the stage.
Get my $20 bill out, and I'll send it to you from your wallet afterwards. paid compliment.
But I'm very excited because you just get to learn about so many amazing topics. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not, but of course, Mia will be up on the stage, and our special guest is amazing. I'm so excited for everybody to kind of meet the person. I almost gave out the gender.
Can't say who it is, but it will definitely be a fun one.
Yeah,
joyous in some ways. I would say the Jupiter. I mean, there's also just so many product announcements. We started to figure out the talks with the team internally right now on what people are going to present. Let me just tell you, if you think Jupiter ships already, just wait till CatLumpur. I mean, it's really dizzying, quite honestly. So God bless the growth team, who's going to have to write about 1 trillion tweets. God bless the press out in the world, who's going to have to try and keep up with more shipments than most teams do in a year. We'll do in a day. And I think that's going to be an absolute blast. Alpha drop. I'll drop one piece of alpha. We're going to launch one very substantial new product that basically everyone on this call is going to end up wanting to use. I can promise you that. It's a very broad base of users for it. I've probably revealed too much already, so maybe I'll stop. But in addition to all these announcements, why, if people are watching this and they have not yet RSVP'd, how many RSVPs do we have so far?
We have accepted close to 1,000 people, and we have 700 something pending.
Gotcha. So 1,700 plus you add in 100 people from the Jupiter team itself and probably some more partners and so on. So approximating around, there's going to be a lot of very interesting people there. The numbers, of course, as Alicia said, we're not approving everybody and so on because there's venue constraints and so on. But if somebody here had the audacity to not RSVP just yet, why should they come to CatLumpur?
Well, I would say the CatLumpur this time, we are actually organizing this, keeping people in mind. It's not just about getting up on the stage and just talking about what we're shipping, or of course, like we all know no one ships like Jupiter out there, but it's also about like meeting the team. So we've been shipping, right? There's so many different products we have in Jupiter. We're shipping back to back, but we want to show people how it all connects, how it all comes together. And we want them to meet people behind this. We all see this, like you said, we're all like Avengers and we're all superheroes and every team is just shipping out there back to back. But people sometimes forget that behind these, like Ben said, he barely slept 4 hours. So behind all these great products, there are also people who are building relentlessly every day in, day out. So we want you to meet these people. We want you to see how much heart and soul they put behind every single thing they do for the people. Like people said, Jupiter is for people, by people. And we want, of course, we have a big Meow vision, which is Web 4, and he wants to talk about what it means up on the stage. So we want everybody to be there. We want people to understand what Web 4 means. And also get a first look at what's next for Jupiter. We are going to talk about next era of Jupiter. We are here for a long run, and we want people to know what plans do we have for them. And come build with us. That's what community is about. That's what partners are about. You might meet your next co-founder in your CatLumpur. You might meet your next collaborator in CatLumpur. You might just meet some, talk to us and build on CatLumpur, like Jupiter. You never know. So we want people to come meet us, build with us, just see what Jupiter is building for them.
Oof. If that's not enough, I can promise you this: there's going to be some fun spectacles. I've been seeing the invoices come into my inbox, and I know that we have there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up that I have proven. So I can probably.
I can tell people. I can tell if you guys like golf. We have a golf simulator this time around, so you guys should come if you like a golf simulator.
Can I guess? Was this an Alley Cat thing?
Yes, 100%.
The president of the country club.
Also, one more thing, we do have amazing after party planned. So this time, after February 2nd, after the day 3, we have the most insane party plan. And the DJ, the one who's going to be closing, was Asia's top DJ from 2016 to 2022. So we managed to secure him, and it's going to be lit.
That's crazy. All right. It's going to be a lot of fun. Listen, folks, for some folks, I know Malaysia feels like it's far away. I will say the 6th reason that's not on here, Kuala Lumpur is a beautiful city. I've been very fortunate to travel quite a bit of my life, and it's one of my favorite cities in the world. Come for the conference. You'll have a blast, 3 or 4 days, depending on how much you can stay there. But Southeast Asia is right there. Kuala Lumpur has a lot to offer. I know it's far for some folks in the West, but I can promise you the trip is going to be worth it. So we hope to see you there. Alicia, any last words for the Jupiter faithful here?
No, I would say that everybody should come to CatLumpur. We are working day in, day out to make it the best. I don't want to say conference. It's the best meetup for everybody here. And see you all in CatLumpur.
I think it's going to be a blast. All right, Alicia, great to have you on the team. Thanks for coming on to the Planetary Call. This will not be your last time. And going forward right now, if you look at a video or you look at some cool content that comes out of Jupiter and you think it's Alicia, just tag her. What's your handle?
It's ELEESATT, Elisa. It's actually my handle everywhere. I need to be more careful with that name.
I did also think that me. Yeah. No. So drop her a follow if you haven't already. Call her out if you think it's her work, or if she was part of the team on it. It will be a blast.
Thank
Alicia,
you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, all right. God damn. If you're not bullish on Jupiter from a product perspective, if you're not bullish on Jupiter from a vision perspective, you got to be just bullish on Jupiter from a human perspective, right? Had 4 people on this call. 3 of them have joined the team inside of the last 60 days. All 3 of them are absolute killers, proven resumes, and the team is only getting better from here. Please do follow Famesy and drop a little W in the chat for me for the humans of Jupiter. It is one of the great joys of the Planetary Call that we get to come up here and you get to meet all of them. And again, that's why you should come to CatLumpur as well. Lovely, lovely good people. All right, so light Planetary Call 62, just to start to recap a little bit. JupUSD shipped live on Lend now. I would say I'll drop a little bit of alpha that Ben, I probably shouldn't piss off Ben. He'll beat me up. So I would just say notifications on for Jupiter Lend because there's going to be capacity constraints on something very cool that we're launching. And so you want to be on there first. Jupiter Lend now does have the highest LTVs all across Solana. Go check out the multiply for the pegged vaults in particular, but everything else as well. New product launches, Verified is up. Jupiter Developer Platform looking swanky. The Rewards Hub is live. That campaign is out there. Rainfi, join the Jupiverse. Offerbook, peer-to-peer lending coming soon. Xiao-Xiao, joined the team. Alicia joined the team. Anmol joined the team. Other people joined the team. Crazy. 21 days of Jupiter Mobile and only 3 weeks to CatLumpur. A lot of stuff happening over here. Cannot begin to say it. All right. I think that's it. Can we do a Jupiter award show at CL, says OG. I think we absolutely must, OG. Let's definitely do it. I think that's going to be a blast. And super, super contentious as well in a fun way. All right, folks, it is good to be back. We're going to have these much more regularly now. I know over the last month or 5-6 weeks, it's been a little bit all over the place between breakpoint and holidays and so on, but we're bringing it back on a regular basis. Do mark your calendars. 2 weeks from today, we're going to do another one, and then we'll do one after that and so on. Until then, my name is Cash Nanda. It's been a pleasure seeing you all. Thanks for coming out. And remember, this is just one thing you need to know. Just use Jupiter, baby. Just use Jupiter. Bye.